Well, Jim, it's pre-season, but a win's a win and a very, very handsome one. How are you feeling about tonight's game?
I was really pleased. It's always difficult in the second half because it's a little bit more disjointed. But I was really pleased with the first half in particular, and to see the cut and thrust from our players. And that was a good showing. It was a great workout for everybody.
We spoke a couple of weeks ago, and it was the first pre-season training. Since then, you played Halifax. You're getting to know the new boys a little bit more. The old lads have come back, all started to gel. What's going on in the camp?
No, like I said, there was a reasonably good team from last year. Obviously, we've lost a couple, and we've replaced a couple of other players that did okay for us last year, with perhaps slightly better players. So I think Ash has slotted in at centre half, and Jordan Keane's gone alongside Paul Turnbull. So it was starting to look like a really solid defence and midfield unit. And then with the likes of you know, Frank Mulhern, you can see his goal threat. Even Niall getting on second half, and just the type of football we're playing suits the likes of Darren and Matty and Adam Thomas a little bit more.
Games like tonight, of course, we're not going to be playing teams maybe at the level of Stockport Town next season, but it's a good night, I think, for players like Ash Palmer who are coming into the squad, just to introduce them to other players, get them to gel in a competitive manner on the pitch, get them playing together. Yeah,
that was important. I mean, I think tonight was more really about sort of perhaps introducing our players to the fans, and for our fans to see what's been happening in the last 2 weeks in terms of what we've been doing in training. You know, a lot of fans wouldn't have been able to get to Halifax because of the England game, but you know, you'll say we're not played many teams like Stockport Town, but the lads played like they did in this first half. The way they did exactly the same against Halifax, and you know, and we're 2-0 up at half time in that game. So we look well equipped, and any time the opposition sort of stepped up a gear, we looked like we were able to defend against that. But no, it was a good workout, and I was pleased that there were so many fans here, and they can see our younger players that are playing for Stockport Town, and it was just all round. It was a good evening's work for everybody.
What more do you want to get out of pre-season now? Is it just about getting fitness into players, or is it working new systems and new strategies and putting your philosophy into the new lads, or what else do you want to see from the rest of the games?
Great question, really. Obviously, everybody, pre-season, we're going to do a lot more work. We're trying to compete with lots of full-time sides that will have that intensity in training. We'll start to see pre-season, and that's a concern of us when we go playing the likes of York and Southport so early. So we need to make sure our fitness levels, our intensity is really good, and I'm really pleased with the progress and fitness scores we've got from our players. I think the other thing that we're very mindful of is getting to know our players' strengths. We've started off obviously with a 4-2-3-1 system, and we're going to develop from that platform other variations of 4-3-3, and I think we've got players like Jake Kirby, Matty Warburton, Paul Turnbull, Jordan Keane can play many, and Conor DeMeo and Sam Walker can play many different variations of 4-3-3. So and that we'll need different variations, and obviously as we get nearer to the tougher games, we'll probably look at other variations that make us more solid, give us a counter-attacking edge. So there's going to be a slow evolution, but I'm mindful of keeping things fairly simple and effective, but to make those progressions that the players are comfortable with and they completely understand that will make us more effective as we go into the league season.
You mentioned that strong start at the start of the season, teams like FC United at home, and then there's York and Southport. The players are really going to have to hit the ground running if they're going to make points in the early part of the season. Do you expect the intensity to build up as the pre-season goes on, and towards the final couple of games of pre-season, this is going to be a strong 11 going out to win games to really go into the season as though they're already running?
Yeah, well, I think that naturally happens, and obviously the last couple of games, despite not having the biggest squad, so we can't play 45s and have two teams. I don't like to carry a lot of trialists. So some of our lads have played 90 already, like Ash Palmer on Saturday, and some have played, 4 players played, you know, 3/4 of a game tonight. So the natural minutes will go up, and that's where there's a little bit of concern for the other players, that we need obviously to get them minutes. We need to make sure that the intensity is up in training, but we've got the the GPS stuff. So we're monitoring the sort of loading the players are getting in training and making sure that if they don't get it in games, they get it in training. But I think as we move towards the games get harder and harder. You know, we've obviously got the likes of Rochdale at home next week, and Everton and Macclesfield, and you know, and Buxton and Warrington will give us a real feel of clubs at this level. So that'll sharpen the mind and the tactics for those games. And but so far so good. You know, we've had you know, a good workout tonight, good work on Saturday, and it's 2 wins and a fairly solid performance all round.
Just a final point on tonight, we saw Alan Law tonight. Of course, you and him were up against each other tonight. How was it going up against Alan?
Yeah, well, it's kind of weird, you know, because you know, we've worked so well together for so many years, and I'm just delighted to see him in charge of you know, Stockport Town, and bringing that wealth of experience and bringing the young players here, and we obviously want to help them in that journey, because I think it'll be so beneficial for our young players, and so part of that sort of partnership was coming here tonight, and it was great because all our fans got to see where Stockport Town are at, the new vibe that's going to be around it. And if you know, if they ever have a free Saturday, they can come and watch half a dozen of our future players here at Stockport Town. So that's only going to be a good thing, not just for Stockport Town but also for our fans.
Well, Jim, it's getting a little chilly out now, so I'll let you run on. Thanks very much.
It's never been chilly.